Good evening. Tonight, we're talking about something so monumentally important, so terrifyingly ambitious. It makes building a wall and having Mexico pay for it look like a quiet weekend DIY project. I'm talking about a plan, a blueprint for a new America, a plan you've probably heard of under its drab bureaucratic name, Project 2025. But that name lacked pizzazz. It sounded like a mid-range printer model. So, it's been given a glow-up, a rebrand, if you will. Please welcome to the stage of our national nightmare, the big beautiful bill. Isn't that just fantastic? It sounds like something a game show host would scream before dropping a net full of balloons on a bewildered contestant who's just won a slightly used jet ski. It has all the reassuring warmth of a term sheet slid across the table by a loan shark wearing a novelty tie. But here's the crucial thing you need to understand about this magnificent document. It's not a bill you passed. It's not a law you voted for. It's not even a suggestion. It's a plan, a script, a death contract. It's a 900-page instruction manual for dismantling democracy and replacing it with, well, something much, much worse. It's the political equivalent of an IKEA flat pack for fascism, complete with confusing diagrams, a few screws missing, and the overwhelming certainty that the finished product will be a wobbly, soul-crushing monstrosity that collapses the first time you try to actually use it for its intended purpose, which in this case is, freedom. They've even prepared the paperwork for your surrender. Think of it like this. Here's the invoice for your obedience. Don't worry, we already took the payment. You, yes, you. Your body, your mind, your future. You are the currency in this transaction. It's a bold new economic model where the GDP is measured in your quiet desperation. So let's take a closer look at the fine print of this big, beautiful bill, shall we? Because what's inside is so much uglier than its name suggests. It's a meticulously crafted vision for a future you didn't choose and one you most certainly will not enjoy. Right, let's get into the meat of it. Or rather, how they plan to get into the meat of you. Chapter 1 of this dystopian doorstop is all about health and wellness, which is government speak for we own your cells now. They're proposing a nationwide rollout of what they lovingly call RNA technology. It sounds so futuristic, doesn't it? Like something out of Star Trek. But this isn't about curing space leprosy. This is about firmware for your DNA. Yes, you heard me correctly. They want to install updates in your genetic code like it's a bloody iPhone. Forget bug fixes for iOS 17. We're talking about patching your humanity. Your body will become a remotely accessible device, a biological Tamagotchi for the state to manage. Imagine getting a notification. Your subscription to Free Will has expired. To continue service, please stand by for the mandatory personality update. This isn't just about tracking you. It's about rewriting you. It's the ultimate form of control. Why persuade the population when you can just push a biological software update that makes everyone compliant? Why worry about dissent when you can patch it out of the human genome? They're not just building a surveillance state, they're building a surveillance species with every man, woman, and child running on government-approved biological software. It's the end of privacy on a level we can't even comprehend. Your very biology becomes a terms of service agreement you never got to read. Next up, infrastructure. Everyone loves infrastructure, right? Roads, bridges, high-speed internet. And according to the big, beautiful bill, we are about to get a lot more high-speed internet. Specifically, 5G towers. Everywhere. One every 200 feet from sea to shining sea. They'll sell it to you as a way to stream 8K cat videos without buffering. But let's be brutally honest, the government doesn't spend trillions of dollars just so you can watch Mr. Fluffles chase a laser pointer in crystal clear resolution. The official reason is connectivity, and that's true in the most sinister way possible. It's not about connecting your phone to the internet. It's about connecting you to the network. Think about it. You have the RNA firmware installed from Chapter 1. Now you need the network to receive the updates. These towers are the delivery mechanism. They are the Wi-Fi routers for the human soul. Every 200 feet, a constant, powerful signal ensuring that every citizen is always online, always connected, always within reach of the central server. You won't just be carrying a device in your pocket, you will be the device. A walking, talking node in a nationwide network of biological puppets. This isn't about improving your signal, it's about ensuring theirs is inescapable. This is the architecture of absolute control, disguised as a public utility. So, you have a population of remotely updatable human beings and a network to control them, but who makes sure everyone stays in line? Who enforces the new rules? Well, that brings us to the most brilliant, diabolical part of this plan. The judges, the cops, the soldiers, the entire enforcement arm of the state. Guess what they all had in common over the last few years? They were all first in line for the jab. The very same technology that's about to go public was beta tested on them. They were the trial run. Every person with a badge, a gavel, or a gun is now potentially running on the same compromised biological operating system. This is the masterstroke. The people tasked with upholding the law are themselves hardwired for compliance. They will enforce the edicts handed down from on high without question because their own biology can be programmed to do so. The laws will be written by a tiny, unjabbed elite, the ones who own the servers, the ones with the admin passwords to the human race. And those laws will be carried out by a police and military force that is, at the cellular level, incapable of disobeying. It's a perfectly closed loop of control. It's a state where the sheepdogs have been given the same firmware as the sheep, all controlled by a shepherd who remains safely offline. Now, how do they manage this new society on a day-to-day basis? Welcome to the behavioral compliance infrastructure, or as they'll sell it to you, the smart city. It sounds so clean and efficient, doesn't it? Traffic lights that talk to each other, automated garbage collection, what's not to love? Well, the price of admission. To do anything, and I mean anything, you will need a digital ID. Want to buy groceries? Scan your ID. Need to see a doctor? Scan your ID. Want to get on a bus, enter your workplace, or even log on to the internet you're paying for? Scan your digital ID. It is the key to your entire existence. And what happens if you refuse? What if you don't want to be part of this glorious, hyper-efficient panopticon? Simple. You become a non-person. Your ID is deactivated. Suddenly you can't buy food, you can't work, you can't travel. You are locked out of society. You cease to exist in any official capacity. It's a digital prison built in the open air. Your compliance is linked directly to your survival. Step out of line and they don't have to send police to your door. They just have to flip a switch. It's the ultimate system of social control. Enforced not by violence, but by administrative convenience. You will obey or you will starve. But how will they pay for all this, you might ask? The towers, the tech, the surveillance. The national debt is already astronomical. And that, my friends, is the point. The debt is not a bug, it's a feature. A brilliantly designed trap. You're told the United States owes trillions of dollars, a number so large it's meaningless. You think of it as an abstract economic problem for politicians in Washington to worry about. You are wrong. That number was never meant to be paid back with money. It was meant to be paid back with you. You, your children, and your children's children are the collateral on this loan. Your time, your labor, your biological data, your silence, your obedience, that is the real currency they are using to service this unpayable debt. They crashed the economy on purpose to create the crisis that this big, beautiful bill is meant to solve. By indebting the nation to an impossible degree, they created the justification for seizing the only asset left of any real value, the population itself. You are no longer a citizen of a republic. You are an asset on a balance sheet, a human resource to be managed, monetized, and controlled. The debt is the chain, and this bill is the key that locks it around your neck forever. So who is they? Who is the unjabbed elite with the admin passwords? Who holds the other end of the debt chain? It's not a faceless algorithm or a shadowy cabal. It's people, families, 13 of them, to be precise. You've heard the names whispered in the darker corners of the internet, dismissed as conspiracy. Names like Rothschild, Rockefeller, Morgan, and others. These aren't just rich people, they are owners. They have been pulling the strings for generations, operating from behind the curtain of global finance, politics, and media. They've owned the banks, the oil, and the politicians for a century. Project 2025, this big, beautiful bill, isn't a hostile takeover. It's more like a corporate restructuring. It's the moment the shadow board of directors steps out into the light to make their ownership official. It's them taking the implicit power they've always wielded and making it explicit, codifying it into law. This bill is their victory lap. It's the finalization of a long-term plan to move from covert control to overt, undeniable dominion. They are the architects of this new world, and the bill is simply the formal announcement that the construction is complete and you are now officially living in their property. But why? Why call it the big, beautiful bill? Why the cheesy, almost comical marketing? It's because they've learned from the best. They've learned from Hollywood, from Madison Avenue, from Silicon Valley. They know that you can sell people anything, even their own enslavement, if you wrap it in a pretty package. It's the same reason a brutalist concrete monstrosity of a government building is named the Liberty Center. The name is camouflage. It's a hypnotic suggestion designed to make the poison taste sweet. It's a title so absurd, so brazenly cheerful, it dares you to question it. And if you do, you're the crazy one, the killjoy at the authoritarian party. Look at the sponsors, the real names behind this production. It's not just the Heritage Foundation. The fine print reads like a who's who of corporate vultures. Pfizer, who gets to monetize your biology forever. BlackRock, who gets to manage you as an asset. And of course, the alphabet soup of intelligence agencies who get the keys to the surveillance kingdom. It's the ultimate public-private partnership. They're rebranding tyranny as a blockbuster Netflix series, complete with a catchy title and a slick promotional campaign. It's not a political manifesto, it's a product launch, and you are the product. So let's strip away the branding, the conspiracy, and the satire for just one moment and look at the cold, hard text. What does this 900-page behemoth actually propose to do? In plain language, it's a speedrun of every authoritarian's wildest dream. First, it completely guts social safety nets. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, gone. Replaced with a system where your access to survival is based on your compliance score. Second, it pours unimaginable sums of money into building the surveillance infrastructure we've talked about, the towers, the digital IDs, the data centers. It's the Patriot Act on steroids, injected directly into the heart of the country. Third, it systematically dismantles the independent judiciary, replacing judges with political puppets who will rule as they are told. Fourth, it funds private armies, mercenary groups loyal not to the country, but to the people signing their checks. Fifth, it authorizes the mass sell-off of public lands to corporate partners. Sixth, it mandates a new patriotic education curriculum, which is a fancy way of saying state-sponsored propaganda from kindergarten up. Seventh, it explicitly legalizes the kind of biotech abuse we discussed, removing all ethical guardrails.